In this final tape in the unit, we'll be looking at why to use reference managers and how to use one particular reference manager. First of all, why? Well, it makes sure that all your citations are listed in the reference. Sometimes you can put a citation and then forget to put it in the references. Or you have a reference and you think you're going to use it, but then you take it out and you forget to remove it from the citation. By using a reference manager, it makes sure that your citations and your references are always lined up. Second important thing is it will format your references appropriately for whatever format you need, including all of the various journal formats that exist if you're publishing in a journal. And third, if you're using the engineering format, it's very important because it helps you to automatically number all of the references in order. If you add another reference in, it will change the order of all the following ones without you having to do that yourself, which is very, very useful for engineering. It also makes it easy to use those references in another paper without having to go back and retype or copy. You can also use it to link all your PDF files in one place, and you can share that library of PDF files with the rest of your team. So again, I'm going to talk about EndNote because EndNote is available free to CCU through the library. So the first thing that you need to do is download EndNote from the library. I'll show you how to do that. Then you can use Google Scholar or some other engine to find the references that you want and download those into EndNote. Then in EndNote again, you need to check that the reference is correct. And finally, in Word, you can use EndNote, and I'll show you all of these steps in order. Okay, so first, downloading EndNote. When you open EndNote, the first thing that it will prompt you for is a library. If you have a library already, you can use that library. For instance, if you have a group library. If you don't have a group library, it will prompt you to start one. Now, again, you have to remember where you put it so that you can find it later if you want to move it or do anything else with it. So it may be useful to create a separate folder with all your team materials in it. Then as far as downloading references, as I showed you in the last video from Google Scholar, you can click on this Cite and it will bring up a box. And at the bottom of that box of ways to cite, it will have a tab that says EndNote. If you click on that, it will automatically download that reference to your computer. With Windows, usually it will open EndNote and it will automatically download that into EndNote directly. With Mac, it's not quite as simple. It will download to the Downloads folder, and then you need to double click on it to open it in EndNote. Okay, now once you have your first reference there, you'll see that EndNote has on the left-hand side various ways that you can look at the different files. In the middle, it will have a list of all of your references that you have imported. And on the right-hand side, there'll be a top part that has a summary and edit and PDF. I'll show you those functions. And down the bottom is something that shows you what the reference will look like in your chosen format. Now, if you can't see that, there's a little up and down arrow that brings this box in and out of the screen. So if you don't see it, there's probably a little up arrow. If you click on that, you'll be able to see this lower box. Okay, so again, I'll show you all of these different features one by one. The first thing that you need to do when you download a reference is to check and make sure that everything is correct. So in this case, we downloaded this article and we see, oh, the volume, the issue, the DOI are all missing from this particular reference. Again, sometimes this happens because the search engine searches for the information, but it may not find everything that it needs. And so on this editing page, you can input the information from the source that you have found. Once you do that and you go back to the summary page, you'll see that now it has the DOI and the volume number and the other information there as well. Now you can attach a PDF. Up at the top of that section, right under the author's name, it says attach file. And so you can take your PDF file, preferably give it a new name because the downloaded names are sometimes not very helpful, and then click attach file. So in this case, for instance, I have renamed this Toth et al. 2022 and then given a short version of the title. This I find to be a useful format because it has the author, the date, and a short version of the title. This makes it easy to find and identify the different PDFs in your list. Now if you click on PDF up at the top, you can view the PDF within EndNote. You can also right click and open it in Acrobat or whatever you use normally to view your PDFs. Now, if you go back to the center section, to the reference, and you right click on that, another useful feature is that you can add these articles to different groups. So if your research is on different areas, different fields, you can add it to different groups. And you can add one article to more than one group. So right now you don't have any groups. So you can choose this little section that says add references to. If you click that, it will say create a custom group, and then you click on that and you can name it. In this case, I'm going to put this in two different groups, DHA and EPA, because it talks about both. And so now you can see, if you look over on the left-hand side, that I have two groups, and this same article is listed in both groups. Okay, as I said, also your library can be shared with others. If you go up to the top bar, you can see under File that it can be shared with others. So you can use one EndNote account for the whole team, and then the whole team can share this library online. And anytime any one person adds to that library, it will sync with everybody else's, and this makes sure that everyone has the latest copy. Now, to insert a citation using the reference manager, once you have it in EndNote, once EndNote is on your computer, Word will automatically create a new tab that says EndNote. And from there, you can insert a citation and automatically create a reference at the end of the document. So here's a document, and you can see now that Word EndNote 20 is listed there. And when you click on that, then it will bring up this toolbar that you can insert a citation. You see that over on the left-hand side, Insert Citation. When you click on that, it opens EndNote, and then you can search for the author's name, the title, whatever, and it will bring up some choices. In this case, there's only one, so it's easy. You can either double click on the reference, or down at the bottom, you can say Insert, and then putting your cursor at the right place and doing that, it will insert both the citation in that location. You can tell it's a citation and not typed because of this graying. It's a field rather than just a typed entry. And then at the bottom of the document, it will insert the references. And as you insert more citations and references, it will automatically format both of them according to whatever format you have set. In this case, APA. And so this, again, is a very useful tool that can help you to format your references, keep track of everything. Now, if you want to use this in PowerPoint, it's not quite as direct because PowerPoint does not automatically add a tab. But that tab can be added manually if you go to File, Options, Add-ins, Manage, EndNote. You can add the EndNote tab to PowerPoint as well with Windows. At the moment, it's not available on the Mac. So you have to do this on a Windows computer if you want to use EndNote in PowerPoint. Okay, so hopefully that will be helpful in helping you to manage your references. And again, play with it. There's a lot of different functions there. This is sort of just the basic functions. There's a lot more that you can do with it, but hopefully this provides a good start.